Hello and welcome back to Gnomoria, to Spiderslaughter, in its moment of peril, true peril this time, not just some sort of hammed up fear of goblins that really couldn't possibly threaten our gods of war, million foul and incompetent LP, not unless a couple of ogres got some stupidly lucky shots. No, this time our true enemy is famine, a foe that has crushed many a kingdom before us, and may well bring an end to this unstoppable war machine. Well, I say that. It's not really unstoppable. A good force of mans could easily overpower one of our gnomes, and eventually they would die if they were fighting long enough. But, you know, we would take out a lot of people first. And if worst comes to worst, I will open that bloody door, and we will go out in style. Million Foul and Incompetent LP and Anthrax the Second and everyone else just set to have at it and die with blades in their hands, the way a gnome should. Now, what we are going to do in this episode, and the reason why I brought you back without doing too much myself, I've just adjusted a couple of our trades. We've now got a mason, so we've got someone who can deal with stone stuff. We've got 2 woodcutters, and I'm hoping that will mean we've got 2 gardeners. Let's have a look. Yes, okay, that's good. Now, we've got 1 potter that comes under the stonesmith, I think. We've got someone who's dealing with our metalworks, someone who's dealing with our actual carpentry. We've not got any miners. We don't need them. We're not excavating right now. We have, let's see, 1 engineer who's still going to be working on tinkering and things like that. 8 ranchers. Now, this is really important. I think if we pull this back, it's going to be based on the amount of meat, eggs, and milk we can get. Got 5 farmers, 4 chefs, 2 brewers. So there really are enough people to be working on things around the clock. Now, the problem I'm thinking is the biggest thing for us right now is how far they're having to bring stuff. So, in an effort to streamline this process, I am seriously considering repurposing this dormitory into some sort of, I don't know, have the butchers up here, have the 2 kitchens, have the distillery. Have a small stockpile of food things, because you're not going to need as much of a stockpile there, because they can just walk out here and grab the stuff. It's close enough. And if we really do need a large stockpile, we can always dig out some of this area for that, and actually have the ingredients stored over here. That's my idea. Now, the only problem with that is we would also want to bring up our bones carver, and I'm not sure, possibly our leather worker as well. I'm not sure about that one, because the leather worker, ironically, uses more stuff from the tailor than it uses in terms of leather. It only makes, well, actually, let's have a look. This requires padding, leather panel, and string. So yeah, the only thing it's really using is leather panels. That's the only thing it's getting out of hide. It's just that our butchers produce an enormous amount of hide when they produce any at all. Now, let's have a look. What have we got here? Have we got any? We've got some goblin meat, which might be turned into a sandwich. I don't know. It's possibly a sausage. Let's move sausages up in this one. So this one is working on sausages, and this one's working on bread as a priority. So we might have enough stuff to make sandwiches. Who knows? But yes, this is not great. So we may move things up here. I am seriously considering this. And we may also streamline this a bit. We should have turned these off now. This should be suspended. Yes, it is. Good, good. We'll cut clippings in the future when we unsuspend it. And the same for the pine grove, also suspended. So right now, our apple grove should be getting the lion's share of everything. Actually, oh no, don't cut clippings. Just pick fruit. As long as we make that priority 1, come to think of it. And this is priority 3. And then this priority 5. Yeah, that could work. At any rate, we want the fruit picked. So that's why we've got a couple more gardeners now. We've got a lot of ranchers, so these guys should be gathering eggs. They are gathering milk, which is great. We've now got 23 drinks. That's fantastic. Let's have a look at that. I imagine that's going to be milk, because I don't think it counts anything. Yeah, fantastic, guys. Well done. Keep up the good work. I may have a couple of our alpacas marked for slaughter. I'm not sure. Yeah, things are a bit rough right now. So let's speed time along. We got 7 food. Oh, we're up to 14 food. Wow, what did we just do? Did someone just butcher something awesome? We might be on the mend. No, we got 8 eggs. Okay. Oh, and 4 meat and 2 salt. Yes. Okay, we may be recovering. Now, another thing I was going to do, and I know this is going to be bad because the Velvet Evildoers have been with us for a long time, but the Velvet Evildoers currently only have 3 people in there. I am considering moving our top skilled members from the Velvet Evildoers into the Fortified Seals, so we've got 1 full group, and the other person into the Silvery Lurkers. Now, what's your crossbow like? You're 7 on crossbow, hammer 52. What are you like? You've got sword 54, crossbow 13, so you're a better crossbowman. And you've got axe 40 and crossbow 10. You are the least skilled out of our main guys. So, yeah, Strider, you're moving over to the Silvery Lurkers, which, you know, I don't actually think is that bad of a move anyway. You know, Strider being more of a rangery, arrowy sort. I mean, I know he tended to be much more about the swords. And generally other skills besides sword fighting anyway. But no, you're going to go in there, you half-elf you. And the rest of the Velvet Evildoers, so Watery Pillow uses a sword, and Sero uses a warhammer. So let's check this out. Oh, and my virus scan has just decided to kick in. No, thank you. You can just stop. Let's see. Schedule scans. Stop all scans. Thank you very much. I appreciate you're trying to keep me safe from the malicious viruses that plague our peoples these days and ages. But no. So we're going to move Sero over here. You're getting a promotion. And we're going to have to change the fortified seals to use just an axe. No, it was a sword gnome, wasn't he? Let's just double check that. Yeah, sword, okay. So, we want a sword gnome. Let's see. Have we got any? Well, I suppose we can make you a legionnaire. You'll start buffing your hammer abilities. So, yeah. Okay, Watery Pillow, let's move you across. And then we will have 2 full squads. There we are. Good luck with your new assignments. Let's see. Velvet Evildoers, you're no longer doing anything for a while. Right. Okay, things look like they might be getting on a little bit. One thing I would like to do here is split this grove into 2. So we're first going to remove the designation and then expressly tell them to chop down a bunch of trees. So we want these trees felled. And we could do the same here actually. So remove this designation and then your agriculture, fell trees about here. We're going to split these 2 groves into 4 groves. And that way we'll have a bit more control over what we're harvesting. Now, let's have a look. They should be doing okay. We've got plenty of milk coming out now. That's really, really good, actually. Hopefully we've got a few more eggs being made. I don't know, though. I perhaps should expand that pasture. Because I'm not certain that our wheat fields are going to be able to support us. They're quite large for wheat fields, but at the same time, I'm really not certain about that. What's this? This is a graveyard, and this is probably a body part stockpile again. So we're going to remove this designation. Just let them stockpile everything else down there. Now then, got a few things queued up to be made. But by and large, we're going to be ignoring most of this for a little while. And we're also going to be undesignating this room. I am more or less convinced that this would be the best thing for us to do. So let's completely strip this room of everything. And then we'll set it up properly. Now, let's dip down and have a look at what's going on. People are marching back and forth and getting things all the time. But we're starting to recover now with food. Our food stocks are up to 35, so it looks like we are making a recovery, but how long we can sustain this recovery is what I'm worried about. We've got 35 meat, that's it. So we desperately need to be making bread, sausages, and sandwiches. Can you make sandwiches? Yeah, you'll make sandwiches as soon as you can, so that's fine. Now, if we go down, someone did make a fantastic suggestion, and that was to ensure that we have adequate supplies of food, drink, and bandages down here. Depths. Actually, what should we call this layer? This isn't very far down. We'll just call it depths 1. No. Depth 9. Yeah, we may as well just use a naming scheme like that. We'll have this on a priority 1. We want these bandages here as soon as they're made. Cloth, bandages. The other things will be on a bit of a lower priority. We don't need them to be worried about too much. Speed things up a bit. I'll bring the food and drink down here when we've actually got food and drink to worry about. For now, we don't, so... Next thing we want to do is remove this designation. Now, someone has given me some tips on how to prevent beetle destruction in my fort. So I will probably be looking into that. Oh, there we go. You shouldn't be too much of a problem. Who have we got down here? Snowdog and Strider. Strider should be fine in combat. Yeah, in fact, you've already disarmed him by the looks of it. Let's just have a quick glance at that combat log. Skeleton gets up. Skeleton drops the copper warhammer because Strider kicked him in the arm. Well done, Strider. Some crazy martial art. Oh, no, he's picked it up. Oh, and you probably kicked it down again. And kick him again, please. Just keep kicking him. Just keep this up until he's dead. Check him out. He's got a seriously injured upper body, right leg, left foot, neck, right arm, and left hand. Injured right foot and head, can no longer walk and is dazed. Well done. And he's down. What are you doing? Crazy kind of dancing there. Right, let's get back up. Now we are producing sausages. I can only imagine we're also producing, well, we would have been producing sandwiches, I guess. Things aren't going too badly. But we have lost some people. Which one's this? That is Lobsteroo and Kissel. I miss you guys already. But there's nothing we can do now. You are gone. Now, I believe we had stocked up. We've got 3 crossbows there stocked up to be made. How many crossbow bows have we got already? Because we may need to stack up another one. Ranged parts. Got 1, so we're currently making 4, which makes sense because we only, until recently, only had 4. So we want another steel crossbow. Crossbow bow, I suppose. There we are. Right, carry on. He's making some pet rocks or something silly. I'm not going to worry too much. He'll give priority to other jobs if they're there. For the time being, you're making sausages. We don't have any bread, or... Well, we do, so why aren't you using it to make sandwiches? That seems strange. But these guys are very much full of rubbish. We need to get that moved around. So how are we going to place these buildings? Let's think. If we built workshops, let's see, food and drink. It's just sort of planning out in my head. We'd need tables and chairs. We've got granite chairs at the moment. We need knives. So we need knife blade, hilt, tables. I'm thinking we'd have two butchers still for the same thing as before. So 1 for bodies, one for livestock. That would make sense. And perhaps there's 2 kitchens in here. This would be our cook room. No. No, I think we are going to have this room dedicated to the stockpiling of the actual food ingredients, I'm afraid. Either that, or we repurpose this room as well. But I wouldn't want to be without any available dormitories. So that's 3. Dug through there. Let's think. We could have both of our butchers over here, because we don't really need much storage space for a butcher. And also, yeah, we could put this there as well. No, that wouldn't fit quite right. But we do want to have our bone carver in the same room. So that'll be our butcher and bone carver area. No, wait. Let's make a area over here. This will be our bone carver there. And then this will be bone carver storage for bones. That'll do. So we'll have all the bones stored over there. Corpses. The corpses can just be brought from the corpse stockpile. I don't think that's going to be an issue. And it saves us having like a high priority corpse stockpile down there, which is currently storing golems and skeletons, which you can't actually butcher anyway, and mants. So we won't worry about a corpse stockpile. So we'll have just 2 butchers, a bone carver, and then a massive bone storage. Then in here we'll have 2 kitchens and a distillery. That should work perfectly, actually. That all lines up. That's pretty cool. But where are we going to store? Well, I suppose we can just store it here, just in front of the door. Have a little store for fruit, fairly large one for meat, and wheat grain. But the actual storage for the food, we'll set up a storage space in here for that, I think. So they'll carry the food over to the dining room. So yeah, we'll get that mined out, which means we need a miner again. Damn it. Let's see. Is there anyone who's idle? There is a farmer who's idle, but I don't want to take him away from his job just yet. We've got a lot of ranchers, and most of them aren't doing anything regarding ranching, so we'll make one of them a miner. Oh, actually, let's just find Dwarf, whatever he's doing. Yeah, he's a rancher. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, he's butchering something, damn it. Well, no, you're going to go be a miner now, so chop chop. You will also be wearing the right sort of gear for mining as well, so that all works out well in the end. Which one's this? That's Dalbeth. Well done. Enjoy. So, things are starting to recover a bit, I think, maybe. Temp spoils. Is this one full? If it isn't, then I would really prefer things to be sent there. Yeah, it isn't, so let's remove this designation for now. And you can store stuff up there if you want to. Now, we've got the paths cut, which is excellent. But we've not got these being plucked for fruit, which I'm not quite happy about. But for now, let's replace these floors. And I'd actually like engraved floors, because I prefer the block pattern you get from engraved floors. So we'll draw this up there. Draw this out to there. Then we're going to deconstruct the torches, just so that we can put the right sort of things here. May as well while we're at it. Once all of those are deconstructed, we'll replace the floors completely with engraved floors, and then restore these groves. But for now, we're not going to worry about these groves. We only want this one to be working. But nothing's being done. It's a little bit... I could always tell them to cut clippings, I guess, but whilst that would get them out there doing stuff with the grove, because our lumberjacks would do that, it would take longer for them to restore the fruit. Is it something that farmers do, perhaps, cut clippings? So, I'll leave that off for now, and we'll see if these guys, once they've finished harvesting the grain, will get up there and deal with all of the apples. If not, then we can always default to cutting the clippings and thus causing the fruit to fall. Now, let's have a look outside. Plenty of iron armor plates still. And lots of blood, actually. A couple of bits and bobs. There's a Mance Scout by the looks of it. I would like to deal with you, but I've just got bigger things to worry about right now. So you guys are still training. That's good. You should be well equipped as well. I'm watching to see if anyone does anything with that place, but it really doesn't look like they are. You guys are going slowly there, but it's probably because you're not well trained in farming. So it's not something we can avoid right now. We'll have to take the efficiency hit for the time being. Ooh, okay. Now then, let's replace these walls with... We could replace them with stone if we want. Block walls. Yes, let's replace these walls with block walls. And actually mine out these ones as well. There and there too. Now, of course, that one will be the kicker. We're not going to be able to get to that one to replace it. But, well, we'll live, I'm sure. Maybe. Maybe my OCD won't itch. I don't know. It might, though. Wow, you make short work of that. Bloody hell. We could extend that out if we wanted to. But then we'd still have very little room to store things. We could instead... No, it wouldn't fit. Damn it! It's just not a convenient shape. And let's replace these walls with stone as well. And bring that down. We'll replace this whole area with stone walls. There we go. Only they're now going to try and replace the walls that we've already made into stone walls. I do wish it would check that. See if it's already been replaced, and if so, ignore the order to replace it. But alas. But we will slowly start replacing the fort with better stuff. It'll take us a while, but we will get there. Now, we've got some bedrooms here. Have we got any beds? That is the question. No, we do not. Okay. Well, that's not a very high priority. You guys can continue working on whatever it is you're working on. Wow, you're fast. What is your armor skill? Let's check this out. Armor 20. That's not actually huge. Right, but we are going to need more tables, so we should really get those prioritized. So we're going to need 2 tables for the butchers. So let's get those made. We've already got the 2 chairs, and we need some knife blades, 2 of which, and knives, but that's going to require... Oh, we've got loads of hilts. That's excellent. Use birch hilts then. Not for any particular reason, just because. There we go. Sorted. It'll take a little while for you to get that all sorted out, but it will be worth it once it's done. Now, you guys can continue working. I'm going to zoom out and have a look at the landscape. We haven't got much going on. I imagine that man's got away, so... Oh no, he's over there. We could go out, but no. We don't have the gnome power to make it worthwhile. Someone did suggest that I could harvest all of these trees, but I mean, I've got perfectly harvestable trees there. No one's doing anything about it. Though I suppose, come to think of it, and besides it sounds like there's a goblin invasion going on, I could expressly tell them to forage these trees. Yes. Make it so, farmer dudes. It looks like it is the farmers. Definitely is the farmers, so fair enough. Right now we want the fruit. Since it will double up as food and potentially wine. All very, very important to me. Now we've got 46 food. That's not too bad, all things considered. But we could do with a lot more. As soon as we've got the tools made for making the butcher's place, we will be making the 2 new butchers and setting them up to butcher corpses, butcher livestock. That should provide a fair bit of food. We'll let it be hauled down here for now. But in the future, we will be setting up some small stockpiles for that at the top. And come to think of it, we should probably set up the food storage area in here. I'm thinking... well, we've got him set to make 100 sandwiches. We should really set that to 64. Have 64 sandwiches stocked up. And then some booze as well. So okay, we'll mine out this area. Just make sure we're not going to make any problems for ourselves. I don't think this is going to hurt us. If it does, then so be it. But this will be our food and drink storage. We'll have room for 64 drinks and 64 food. It'd be nice, kept cool. I imagine this area is cool. I don't know why, but thinking of a well always makes me think of something cold. But I guess I'm thinking of being down the well, which is not quite what this room is, but nevertheless. Now, let's just double check. Okay, we have not made our way into our fort. That is good times. So, we want 2 stockpiles, 1 for food. Actually, we want this to be 2 food stockpiles. 1 on a high priority, 1 on a lower priority. That way we can give other high priority stockpiles around the places where our military are going to be at. We only want sandwiches stored there. Is that how you spell sandwiches? I am going to look like a derp if that is not. But, no, it's not got an E. Damn it. You bloody E's. There we go. So, we can have our sandwich stockpile there. A second sandwich stockpile here. And then some booze. We're not going to specifically say what type of booze. It can be whatever. But this one is only going to be for sandwiches. I suppose I could make one for eggs as well, but normally they would not be something we would want to stockpile, but I guess we could. We'll make an egg stockpile. And that should be all we need. In terms of food, anyway. Drink comes next. Actually, we'll put a milk stockpile here. And drink. Milk. We're not going to make a stockpile for beer. Because we're not going to be making it. As someone pointed out, you end up using stuff that is more useful as food to make beer. I know we can use fruit, but fruit is generally, I mean, I know it's not right now, but generally quite plentiful. So, I think it was Eli who pointed out, though I could be wrong about that. It might be Zenir. Let's see. So, great. Whole wine overflow. And make this a priority 9. there we go. That should serve us well for getting all of our drinks here. And the food for the time being. So we just need to add a couple of crates for storage. Those, and some barrels for the storage of our drinks. And that should be good. Hopefully they'll be able to get that all sorted out pretty quickly. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Though they are getting the barrel there, which is good. Whatever's in the barrel, I don't know. Oh, but that's actually not too bad. I'm glad they're clearing it out from here, because we've kind of been annoyed with that for a while, or at least I have. Right, so they're getting that set up. And that is it for this episode. I hesitate to say, but it looks like we're starting to recover a little bit. Now, first thing I'm going to do before we go is set this to make sandwiches up to... Well, we've got 64 up there. Yeah, we'll do 128 because there are potentially going to be 3 locations for storing food. The Great Hall, which is going to store 2 crates worth, and then the gatehouse, and then our lower training areas. So 128 is reasonable. We'll go ahead and continue doing this. It doesn't really matter because we're going to be moving these eventually. So that's the main thing that we're going to do there. But this one, what are you making up to? Okay, well, that's not too bad, I guess. You're making 40. Well, we'll live with that. But that is it for this episode. I hope you will join me in the next. But until then, do take care.